YouTube. Welcome to High Springs Orchard and Bakery. We're going to learn about fermentation today. Oh my gosh, it's so beautiful. I want to show you all this view of the field. Look at that. It is a beautiful day. It's going to be a crazy hot day, but it's a beautiful day. High Springs is a beautiful place. I got here a little early to the fermentation class. Number one, because I can't navigate out of a wet paper bag and I've never been here before, so I thought it'd be a good idea. But also because I wanted to look around. If anybody would like to donate a farm to me, I'll happily accept it.
So I started teaching fermentation probably about 5 or 6 years ago to people because I felt a big need to get word out about the fact that this is more of a nutritional powerhouse, not just a way to preserve food, but it really is super important for our health because this is honestly my medicine right here. This is the only way that I can maintain my health. I mean, obviously my lifestyle has changed quite a bit. Being that our food system, our soil is depleted, we are eating things that are dead and not living, we're eating on the go, we're eating convenience food, we're going out to eat, we're not cooking like we used to in our kitchens, like our ancestors and our grandparents and everybody else did. This stuff is super important. When you're eating chips and crackers and cooked food, you're not getting any living probiotics or qualities into your body. I worked in a health food store for several years. I had to do all the ordering for our supply and our product that I sold on shelves. It was a really interesting, eye-opening experience for myself. I got in there and I was bright-eyed, bushy-tailed, and super excited about being in the health industry. And then it was shortly after that I started learning that a lot of this stuff is actually, in fact, just a marketed way to get people to spend their money. And I hate to always be the supplier of bad news, but it is the truth. These little bottles of probiotics that they sell you at the grocery store for $50 to $100 a bottle that they say will claim to help your gut health, the chances of those probiotics actually making it into your intestines and doing what it's supposed to do is so slim. This traditional way of doing things is never going to die, in my opinion. So as long as there are living, there's living everything around us, this will continue.
Okay, so Jillian's talk was amazing. I'm ready to ferment all the things. I'm not ready to talk to the camera in front of everybody, so I found a way to wait. But that was awesome. We're going inside now to try it, and I will try and muster up the bravery to film that. I'm very excited. That was amazing.
I guess in my life, I've always been attracted to pickles and vinegary, pungent flavors. Mm-hmm. But what really catapulted me and threw me head over heels into this was my health. Mm-hmm. Being diagnosed with an autoimmune disease about 10 years ago, and reflecting back on how sick I was, I knew that instead of taking medication for the rest of my life, which they wanted to prescribe me, I think it was 5 different kinds of pills that they told me I would have to take every day to maintain my health. I was too young for that, and I just said no, I was not going to take that. And I went back to food as the source. I had taken a bunch of nutrition courses in college that were not tied to what I actually went to college for. Mm-hmm. Just because my brain loved it. And so I had dug out some of my old college textbooks and started reading about nutrition and all these things. And that the light bulb went off, and then I'm Googling, and that led me to find the GAPS diet, and that stands for Gut and Psychology Syndrome. And I started reading that, and that was when another light bulb had gone off and said, you need to follow this protocol. This little voice of reason said, this is what you need to do. Fermented foods were really popping up for probiotic purposes. And then I started doing the Google rabbit hole search of fermented foods, and I came across a man called Sandor Katz. And he is like our father of fermentation in this country. He's written a beautiful book, The Art of Fermentation. And so it inspired me. And I started introducing things one by one, you know, and then I just went full-fledged. And before I know it, well, here I am. I started, you know, really digging into my family and my friends and be like, you guys got to try this stuff. Them seeing in me my health change, I think, started building, you know, trust within that. And then I'd show up to people's houses with jars of weird stuff, and we'd all be eating a meal together, and they'd be like, oh, this Ferment Lady's here. And people would start calling me that, the Ferment Lady. And I was like, at first I was like, oh gosh, you know, that's such a weird name. But then I've just kind of grown into her. And again, that little voice of reason popped up at some point and said, now you need to go teach people how to do this stuff. You know, us Americans really lack a diversity in our food. You know, because we have McDonald's and we have, you know, cereals and we have chips and we have pastries and donuts and, you know, in a way we're laughed at by other people around the world because, you know, and that's why we're so sick and diseased, I feel, because we don't have the inclusion of all this. You know, I wish that kids, and I hope that at some point kids are going after this stuff long before they're reaching for a donut. What's in there? Pesticide-ridden, dead food that does nothing but cause inflammation. So,
and also for health reasons, I think people should learn to like it, or it's part of it, or some of it. Whichever way they want, you can learn to make sauerkraut, or you love carrots, you make carrots, you like cauliflower, you make cauliflower. Something. Some people's guts needs it.
Yes.
Well, our ancestors
I've never
ate
heard
like
a German by descent and say, I'm sick, I need an aspirin. They say, no, give me a pound of sauerkraut.
Yes. When you have sauerkraut that is made fresh and not pasteurized, it is a completely different experience.
It's different.
It is so different, and so it's like that'll hook people, and you know, you can add it on to a sandwich, and it totally changes your sandwich. You know, I mean, or you just like I do, you just eat it right out of the jar with your fingers. But I would say that I mean, kimchi, sauerkraut. I think that those are all things that you know would help get people hooked. I think that we need to. I think we need to eat with our eyes, and I think that it's important for things to look edible and look delicious, you know, as much as they taste. So whenever I like to teach a class, I like to bring the color game because I think that's really important, you know.
Yeah.
I think the more attractive the food looks, the more eager people are and more willing they are to try something different.
That was incredible. I stayed and talked a while, recorded a lot of it, turned the camera off for a lot of it just because it felt really good to connect with other people who love their health, who love growing things, who love environments like this. And today was really very special. I'm very grateful for it. Go check out the Ferment Lady. I'll link everything on the description below. Jillian's amazing. This was amazing. I can't wait to get home and start putting things in jars. Thank you guys for joining me today. We'll talk soon.